Welcome back to Big Dan's Airgun Review channel. It's a somewhat streamlined video today as we're going to be having a look at a new model of a similar gun and something completely and utterly different. Later on we'll be shining some light on the new prototype Rainson rifle we have in for testing, but first let's get the new 177 Accumax in the shoulder and see what we think. Is it as good as the original 2.2? Well, there's only one way to find out. Okay, so the 177 Accumax. Now normally I wouldn't have really had a look at this too much, as obviously a caliber change isn't something that usually denotes an entire new video, but we've had quite a lot of emails come through asking about when's the 177 coming in, and on top of that, does it shoot as smoothly as the 2.2? We've had quite a few customers of ours now absolutely raving about these and basically waiting for them to come in, and now thankfully they have come through. I am so sorry it's taken so long for me to get this review done. Everything, including the weather, has been getting in the way. But now we've finally got one. What do we think? Well, not much to report on with the stock. It's still very much the same, obviously, as the standard Accumax. There's been no actual aesthetic changes to it whatsoever. Again, if you didn't like the original Accumax, well, you're probably still not going to like the styling of this. For me, I can understand why it's polarizing. This isn't usually my cup of tea. Some of the, like I say, the cheaper budget Springer stuff can look a bit alien, Star Wars maybe, I don't know. This, however, is done for purpose, because as we mentioned, and I'll keep it short because you might have already seen our Accumax video, if you take a look at the rifle, the comb on the cheek piece actually comes, well, basically comes up, and the action is considerably higher than the cheek piece here, which basically, more or less, makes you grip the rifle the way that you should. You should grip it nice and light on the front. Don't grip it and rip it because it will kick and go all over the place. But it makes you hold the rifle the way that you absolutely should. And because of that, when we were shooting the 2.2, we got some tremendous accuracy test results. And I'm hoping this obviously is going to be the same. But it's only a cheap gun. It's a £150 spring gun with lifetime warranty at bigdansairguns.co.uk. Shameless plug. Sorry about that. But yeah, it's only a cheap spring gun. And some of the 177 Springers out there, around the £150, even 200 mark, can be a little jumpy. Let's see if this is the same. So, automatic safety off, taking aim at the mound. Don't know why, it's not even zeroed yet. So, aiming at the mound, you've got your, same as the 2.2, sort of fake second stage there. And then you pull and pull until it finally decides when it wants to fire. To be fair with you, it's not too bad. There's plenty of worse triggers on the market. It's no record trigger. To be fair, it's no different really to the 2.2 Accumax that we tried good few, well, maybe even a year ago now, maybe even more than that. But it's not the most insulting thing on the planet. The main thing that impresses me though is, again, same as the 2.2. Number one, that is ridiculously smooth to cock. There's no raunchiness or anything in that action. And number two, did you hear any twang? Because I didn't. And that is impressive for a £150 gun. The other thing I like, if you can see that, is, you might not be able to, I'm not sure. Can you see the way that they've almost, you could say, crowned the breech end of the barrel? That is really nice. I like that. And they did that with the 2.2s, and they're so easy to load and shoot. So let's have another go. I'm going to lean back a bit. You watch the muzzle end if you can. There's a bit of a flick upwards, but it's very small. You see that? Just up, down. That's pretty much it. That has got a lovely little shot cycle on it, to the point where I'm genuinely excited to see what it can do at 27 and 45 yards. Now, we're not going to be doing the full pellet test on camera, because like we said, you've already seen us review one of these. I'm not going to beat a dead horse. This we're only doing because it's been requested and it's an updated gun. We're going to find the best pellet for it off camera and then film the groups on camera. One thing I do want to look at though, new caliber, I have no idea what power this is doing. It could only be recoiling pretty damn softly because it's doing 6 foot-pound. So, you never know till you get the chrono out. Let's whack that out and see what she's doing. Right, so 45-yard test, but we're doing it this time with a little bit of a difference. What we're doing now is we're going to set the target up and we're going to do it freestanding, because I've done a lot of talking about how this stock is really nice, and we did this in the 2.2 video we did before, and I was thinking, do you know what? We're going to do this freestanding to maybe ultimately prove the point, or I'll entirely embarrass myself on camera as I usually do when it gets to this part of the video. But there's another reason behind it too. When we did the 2.2 Accumax video review, it was lovely in the morning. It was about 11 o'clock, I think, when we stopped filming. I had about half an hour spare, and I thought to myself, let's have a go freestanding, see how we do. Let's see how bad I actually am. And I am terrible, make no mistake. I'll admit that to anybody. I'm not a freestanding shot. I think if you watch the Mito review we did, I celebrated because I shot a leaf about 15-20 yards away. But yeah, that bad. But I did one group of 5 shots off memory, off camera, and it grouped better freestanding than what it even did sitting down. I don't know how I did it. It could have been a fluke. And then with that, I was stood there thinking, oh my God, how do I put this in the video? But then obviously if you see me go, oh, by the way, here's one I did earlier freestanding, and it's a 20 pence group that you didn't see footage of, your first thought is, what a crock of you know what. And I don't blame you. I'd think that as well. A bit like, again, a cooking show, here's what I made earlier sort of thing. So I thought, you know what? Bugger it. Why don't we do it on camera with the 177? Now, granted, we're going to do things a bit differently because the wind is not good today. You'll hopefully see that. We'll get some footage. You can see it blowing. We're going to do 2 groups with 3 pellets each. 1 high, 1 low, or something like that. One side to side, we'll see. Probably 1 high, 1 low be better. And simply because of the fact that obviously the less shots we had per group, the less chance of the wind potentially throwing it off or something like that. Because it's so random today, it's hard to judge. But at the same time, we get 2 hopefully nice tight groups of 3 shots each. It'll show that the gun is obviously consistent and it's not just a fluke. We're going 3-3, hopefully pretty damn accurately. So we'll see how we get on. But yeah, I thought of a brand new way I can embarrass myself, but hopefully the rifle will do most of the work for me and help me shoot straight. So 45 yards freestanding. I'm not nervous. This is the all-new Rainson Wild, which could be coming to our shores very soon. Now, a couple of things to mention first. As we stated earlier, this is a prototype rifle, and so some things aren't quite to my ideal spec at the moment. But rest assured, myself and ASI are working on these to really make them something special. It's early days, so still no pricing at the moment, but keep an eye on our website as we'll update it as soon as the rifles are ready. It's an interesting rifle for sure though. Your eyes are no doubt immediately drawn to the 3 gauges built into the block. That's because the Wild comes with a twin regulator setup. Pardon the low pressures, as mentioned, this is getting tested daily. And that's a Provost. The rifle is a semi-bullpup design with the cocking lever being placed amidships, but the trigger mechanism being placed by your ear. This way you get a full-length barrel in a shorter package. A big plus for the Wild compared to some other tactically designed rifles is the open breech, allowing you to easily hand-load pellets directly without the need of a single shot tray. Behind the breech you also have an adjustable butt pad for length of pull and also an adjustable cheek piece. Slightly further ahead we have the power adjuster, which is the same as Rainson's Edge X, which we reviewed on this channel. The trigger is of course an adjustable unit that's still in its early stages as of yet, but it's something that could absolutely be developed into a seriously good unit. The choice to stick with a standard blade for now is an interesting one too. Further up we of course have the carbon fibre bottle, which is a lovely addition, and close to this we also have the built-in fill probe and accessory rail just above it. They're plastic at the moment, but as mentioned, early prototype. Rest assured, feedback on this has already been passed on. Under the bottle you also have yet another accessory rail, which we've slapped a Conus bipod onto, and further up you can also see we fitted a Accumax silent force moderator onto the rifle's 1/2 inch UNF thread. Another nice feature are the 3 magazines as standard, very much like the Rainson Edge X. Rainson also provide a slim fill adapter if yours is a bit chunky to fit onto the built-in probe. The rubber grip is a nice touch too. Lefties can also rejoice, as the cocking arm can be swapped from right to left-sided cocking. Although the Wild is still in its testing phase at the moment, I can see this being a seriously popular rifle to those that like their solid tactical styled airguns. The metalwork is seriously chunky and solid, and the cocking action is incredibly smooth, even on this early gun. As mentioned, there's some changes and tweaks that will be made, but let me know what you guys and girls think in the comments below. I think it's an interesting thing to say the least, and there was no way I wasn't going to get this on camera. Thanks ever so much for watching this rather strange episode of Big Dan's Airgun Reviews. I know it wasn't really that much of a review, this video. It was more of an update, and a little bit of a funky one at that. But that being said, normal service will resume hopefully very shortly. We've already got our next gun that we're going to get reviewing, and we should be live, if we're very lucky, within a couple of weeks of this being uploaded. So hopefully keep your eyes out for that one. And again, so sorry we didn't actually get to do some accuracy testing on the Wild prototype. Nothing to do with the gun, but more the fact that you can hopefully see, I think I took some videos of it, my range was completely and utterly blocked. So unless I fancy shooting through a forklift, which I don't really want to because he's got more firepower than I have, the guy who owns this, I think we'll maybe do another video another time on that. But rest assured, when the Wild actually is released, we get a production gun with us, or even maybe even with this one if we get spare time, we'll show you what the gun can do downrange, because it has been really impressive so far from what I've seen with my testing. So thanks ever so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.